All right. I watched it. I feel like everybody and their mom watched it. I watched all 8 hours, got through it. Um, Man, this is kind of weird. It's kind of surreal. A part of me really didn't feel like this was gonna ever come out, and now it's out, and here it is. So, how do we? I don't know. All right. Let's break it down like this. I really liked the first 15 minutes a lot. I really enjoyed seeing that Earthbender and going through the whole process of getting captured, and then you see Sozin, and he does this, you know, subversion of expectations type of trickery, just to get the world's focus away. That's pretty cool. That was really awesome. Seeing the actual this world's Order 66 take place was a little jarring. I agree a lot with Antoine Bandelet in regards to seeing this type of bending in real life. This is a little bit more realistic. Bending is dangerous. It's really dangerous, and it feels like some people have said, way more lethal than what you think it really is, which is that's cool. That's cool that they put that in there. So overall, here's my overall thoughts. I'm not going to make this long-winded. I'm just going to do my full thoughts on this full season and just let you guys know where I'm coming from. The best compliment I can give for this show is that this is what M. Night Shyamalan's version should have been like. And that's as high as a compliment I can give. But I'm just talking overall. This felt like, to me anyway, a Cliff Notes version of the show. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that from the standpoint of like I want the show to be an exact copy of the previous one. That's actually far from what I wanted. I wanted this to really showcase itself and be its own thing. That's really what I wanted. But I think what we got was kind of kind of somewhat of an unnecessary rearranging of story and character introductions that thought was weird. So yeah, this truly did feel like a Cliff Notes version of the show. It felt like a well-cooked, unseasoned piece of chicken, right? Like, you get if you get some food, right, some steak, some chicken, something really, really nicely cooked, the seasoning is what gives it the punch, right? I felt like the seasoning was gone. It had a vibe of kind of like this early 2010s, we're just going through the motions type of speaking. The acting was really hit or miss for me. I thought, surprisingly, Sokka's actor did a really good job. I thought Suki's actor actually did a very good job. Bumi, I was very surprised by it. Bumi was probably my favorite, acting wise. Daniel Day Kim, amazing. He actually, from the trailers, I wasn't too sold on him when he was speaking in the trailers, but in the show, I thought he was very good, very spot on. Zuko's actor, he kind of went in and out for me. There were some moments where I thought he was overdoing it, and then there were some moments where I was like, that's great. Admiral Zhao's character, I really liked the different take on Admiral Zhao. I really liked that. And also Jet. I thought the guy that played Jet, solid, very good. But that's as far as my compliments will go. I mean, obviously, Netflix spent a ton of money on the show, so it looks great. That's fine. The bending, fighting, or I'd say 90% of it anyway, looks great. The other thing that's amazing about it is the costuming and set design is incredible. Very, very good. But like I said, the spice is not there. The seasoning isn't there. It's cooked well. It came off the oven, the right temperature. The meat is exactly the way it should be, but there's no oomph to it. I think after sitting on it for a little bit, I've figured out, for me at least, what it is. The humor is just sucked dry out of this. Sokka is funny. There are some funny moments here and there, but one thing, if you really go back and you watch season 1, you, especially for me, I mean, it would be like my 25th rewatch of it. But I rewatched it last year, and I remember turning to my partner and saying, man, I completely forgot how funny the show is. Season 1 of the original show is hilarious. It's hilarious. They kind of sucked the life out of it, I think, here. Appa looks great, though. One key thing that I thought was done really well was let me back up. I forgot to say June, the actress for June. Everything about June, perfect. Ty Lee, also perfect. Really good. But one thing I was going to say was that what was interesting to me from an episode standpoint was there was one episode that I really, really, really enjoyed. And that episode was the sequence of the Blue Spirit. Now that sequence was interesting in the sense that they just so happened to copy the original show almost beat for beat. Literally almost beat for beat. And that was, to me, that was the best part of the show. That was interesting. That was very interesting, actually, because kind of made me wonder if they would have continued to do certain things exactly like the show if it would have been better, because if really that Blue Spirit, the whole thing, the entire Blue Spirit thing was captivating. I thought it was really well done. Another thing that was really well done that wasn't part of the original show was the Agni Kai with Zuko. Maybe it was just because Daniel Day Kim was doing his thing. Maybe that's part of it. But I thought that entire fight was really well done. Seeing Zuko fight back, the way that they did it was handled well. For me, I prefer the show. I do prefer the show, but no, the way that this was handled was fine. The fight with Pakku and Katara, I was not a fan. I'm sorry. I was not a fan. It was... everything about this show was just screamed like this weird 2013, we're trying to make early 2010s, we're trying to make an epic film, but you're just supposed to think it's epic when it really is not. And that's just what this had. This just felt like just, eating something without the spice in it. Just it's good, but it ain't it. That fight between Pakku and Katara was slow. It was weird. Pakku's actor, I didn't like him. I'm sorry. There's no personality in the way that portrayal was done for Pakku. And to speak of personality in general, I don't think there was a lot of personality overall throughout the whole show, except for Sokka's actor. But I felt like that was more so an afterthought because Sokka is the funny guy. So they're like, we have to make him funny. And they kind of spent so much energy on like characters that are supposed to be funny, like Boomy, like Sokka, and focused on them being funny, when the rest of the show, if you really look at it, from the original, everything is funny. Everybody has a time to shine with humor. Everybody, even Zuko, in the first season, has moments of hilarity. Aang even has that. The show itself just presents you with humor, right? That just doesn't happen in this version of it. So anyway, that was just a thought. A lot of 2010s quippy, non-quippy type of humor. That's kind of where I'm coming from with it. But overall, this was really good. It was still good. It just wasn't great. And I don't think that we as fans should lower our expectations. Sorry. I don't think we should do that. So what I will say as a final thought is think of it this way. It's almost as if the guy that owns the Ember Island Players, whatever version of Broadway, here's a good analogy. In Republic City, let's say there's an area that puts on live productions of plays and stuff. Some bigwig from Republic City came out to the Ember Islands Players and was like, hey, we need you to take your tiny little production of the Last Airbender story, bring it over to Republic City. Let's make it big. Let's put all the bells and whistles on it. If M. Night's movie was the Ember Island player's original play on Ember Island, this was Republic City taking that same playwright, bringing him over to Republic City and putting all the bells and whistles to it and retelling the story with just bigger production, different actors, but no seasoning. Those two, my made up one and the one that's from the TV show, are plays, but nothing beats the actual living of the story. And I felt like that's what was missing from this. But overall, I give this a strong C+, B-.